most essential things that you can do when you're sitting across the table from a big box buyer is to know your numbers backwards and forwards. And the best number to know is going to be your bottom line. The bottom line means that if you go down to $1.20, you're going to be losing money if you go past $1.10. You know, your margin is 10 cents in there. And you need to make sure that that 10 cents includes for any eventualities, legal fees, slotting fees, any distributor costs, any point of sale displays. If you get returns, it's going to be cut out of that. You need to know your bottom line. Nobody can give that to you. It's something that you have to learn from experience, and you have to work your way back from your retail price. So if we're going through examples, let me take a product here. This pen. If this pen costs $5 at retail, you need to know that when you're speaking to a big box buyer like Walmart, I want to put this product into Walmart, he can't buy this $5 retail pen for less than $2.50, because less than $2.50, I'm not going to have the money to do the shipping to their warehouses, to do the promotions behind the product, to get the product moving off the shelf, and to pay my staff to support any clients that come back because it's a defective pen. So you need to build all your business costs in the back end of that bottom line price. And if you're going through a distributor, like a large distributor, Key, McLean, Core-Mark, Hackney, these larger distributors take smaller margins than independent DSD distributors. However, when you ship the product directly to them, you pay for the shipping to them, and you also pay for the shipping from them. If your product has an expiration date, they're gonna expect you to take it back. If your product doesn't move, they're gonna expect you to ship it back to you. And at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to have to convince the retailer to buy the product from that larger distributor, and then they earn their percentage. So going in with your eyes open on any pricing that needs to occur so that you can have that promotion schedule, have that assistance on the back end, and you can support yourself and feed yourself at the end of the day is going to be essential. Going through a DSD network or a direct store delivery network like Mr. Checkout, when we speak to somebody, the distributors that we work with, they expect usually 20 to 30% as far as a commission when they bring a product into a store. So if they buy your product for $2, they're going to want to sell it to their store at $2.50, and then the store is going to want to retail it for $5. So you need to know that the bottom line might be lower than a regular distributor, larger distributor, but you're not going to have to build in the expense of doing the in-store sales and marketing, because the distributors with DSD networks, when they buy the product, they sell the product. When a larger distributor takes your product, they take your product, they warehouse your product, and then you have to sell the product. It's a different workaround. They have trade shows where you can do this, but most of the time it's about building a buzz. And if there's no buzz and there's no demand for your product, you're going to be out a lot of money because you're going to have to ship it back to you. The last bit of pricing is knowing your MSRP. Knowing your retail pricing and where people are pricing your product and how fast your product is moving off the shelf is incredibly important when bringing a product to market. With Mr. Checkout, one of our competitive advantages is that we're able to pay our distributors a fee to test a product in a store. And this all came out of testing 5-Hour Energy. When we launched 5-Hour Energy, when we came to the market with that product, we were testing it at different prices, and it actually sold better at a higher price. And knowing that along the way, and knowing that ahead of time, allows for you to have a huge advantage when speaking to any retailer, because you can prove that when your product is sold at $3, it's going to move 5 units a day. When it's sold at $4, it's going to move 3 units a day. when it's sold at $5, it's going to move 2 units a day. Knowing that pricing and how you stack up is essential when speaking to a big box buyer, and it'll make you sound so much smarter than anybody else that pitches them. Everybody else comes in with bullet points and shows how great their product is and how much better it is, but at the end of the day, if it's not going to sell off the shelf, that buyer's going to get fired. And the buyer's main job in life is not to get fired and to prove that they can pick winning products. If you can take that out of the equation, if you can show that the product's on the shelf, it's selling, and if you put it on the shelf at $4, it'll sell X amount of units, that's gonna alleviate a lot of concern and give you a much better chance at getting that big box purchase order.